You can either double click or just pull it. There we
right.
go. And when people say that it's like not working,
We're on.
oh, we're there.
Yeah.
Good morning. Let's see, who do we have, Tim? Let's see, Alejandra. Good morning. Welcome. Tim42. Good morning. Where are you guys from? Let's see. Good morning. What's happening? Let's see. Oh, that's Stephanie. Miss Okohi from New London, Connecticut.
Somebody from Spain.
Wow. Hola, ¿cómo está? That is amazing. Well, we'll wait a few minutes while people are chiming in. Let's see, where else? So let's see, Daniela is on. Good morning to you. Do you like the title? What do you call these, Tim?
Running Man.
Running
with
Man.
a checker flag.
Right, muy bien. So we're a little rusty on my Spanish.
Yes.
Luke, good morning, Luke Larson. Welcome. There's Biga, 300.
Well, what you want to do is just put your name up there so we can address you as your name. Just
Right.
say hi, where you're from, your name, because sometimes reading those tag names are a
It's
little hard.
little
From
rough.
the UK.
Wow.
London. London.
Amazing. That is awesome. Well, this is going to be a great broadcast this morning. It's morning for us. It may be a little later if you're in the UK. I don't know if it's afternoon by now, I'm sure. Kazakhstan.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay.
Awesome. Welcome. Well, if you are on here, we're on TW Dawson's Periscope. The man with the plan. You need to swipe to the left or the right, invite some followers, because this is going to be some powerful information.
This is going to be life-changing.
Absolutely.
If you have any ambition in life to succeed at all, these are going to be some things that you're going to need.
Thanks for the hearts.
Absolutely need.
Chocolate hearts. I love chocolate.
Chocolate and green. Listen, I'm telling you right now, I've been through the gamut of all philosophies, from religious to philosophical to moral to natural law to spiritual law. And there's some concepts that I applied in my life that have gotten me a great deal of success. And I just want to share those with you consistently. You guys are going to actually help me write a book about this, because I'm going to talk about these things and we're going to record them and we're going to have documentation of how this whole thing came about. And I'm excited to share these things with you.
Awesome. So are we starting?
I mean, I'm waiting on you. I mean,
hey, let's roll. I think we got enough people in here. And listen, let's say hello, TW Dawson. Let's say hello to the replay.
Replay people, the people that's gonna watch this later on. And I suggest that you watch this over and over and over and over, because this is a concept of philosophy that you're not gonna be able to get right away. You're gonna have to listen to it, read it, write it down, take notes, get a pen and paper if you can, because I want to go over some stuff that's really, really going to change your perspective on how to succeed in life.
Awesome.
And
awesome.
I'll let Keith just kind of just start out a little bit, just with a little bit, and then I'll jump in and he'll chime in and we'll go back and forth with it.
Well, again, listen, if you're on here, you need to swipe to the left or the right and invite some followers, your Facebook followers, Twitter, or the specific followers on Periscope, because we're getting ready to load you with some wealth of knowledge, wisdom that's going to revolutionize your life. And I'm just excited to be here with my cousin. And let me tell you, he's been really doing some great things. And I'm just excited that he's now introduced to Periscope. So all of this stuff you got inside of you, you can share with the rest of us. And one of the things we were talking about is you have accomplished so much in a short amount of time. You're still young. Mm-hmm. So I asked you a question about how did you get from A to Z, and not only that, what were the transitions or the milestones? Mm-hmm. How did that look? Because a lot of times we're looking at people like yourself. We see the big house, the cars, and the money you're making and the success you have. And we went to the restaurant and it was like the paparazzi. Everybody said, "Oh, we know you, we know you." So you're not only influential, affluential, but what were some of the steps? What does that look like? Because people like me, we can admire your glory, but don't know the story. So share a little bit about that.
Well, one of the most key and important things that you can do, and if this is, I'm speaking specifically to the person who wants to succeed. I'm speaking to the person who specifically is tired of being in the situation that they're in. How you doing? And they want change in their life. This is not for the person who's going to listen and do whatever they've been doing. This is for the person who wants change in their life, that wants to make a difference and make something out of their life and become more than what they already are right now, their present moment. And so the number one thing is going the extra mile. Going the extra mile. See, that's a concept that people don't understand. A lot of times people have employee mentality. If you have an employee mentality, you're only going to get what an employee's wage is, which is $10, $15, $20 an hour, maybe. What an employee mentality is getting to work as late as you can possibly get to work without being late, and leaving as early as you possibly can without leaving early.
Yeah,
what you're doing is you're stealing from your employer. You're stealing. Coming back from lunch 20 minutes late, 15 minutes late every day equals a certain amount of hours that you're getting paid for.
Yeah.
That you're not rendering service for.
So why would somebody do that? Is it because they're in the wrong place, perhaps? Maybe they're...
Listen, see, that's the thing.
No motivation.
It has nothing to do with the place you're in. Because I learned something a long time ago. You got to do all you can with all you have where you are right now. And that's what matters. See, there's a law. See, and I always talk about law.
Right.
And that law is called the law of increasing returns. No matter what you do, how you do it, it's going to come back to you increasingly. So when you learn how to be a volunteer or render useful services, see, if you render service to somebody and they don't appreciate your service, it has nothing to do with them. It has all to do with the fact that you're putting that out there. See, listen, if a man is in poverty, he's only in poverty because he hasn't made himself useful to the world. When a man makes himself useful to the world will compensate him accordingly. I'll say it again. The only reason a man is in poverty is because that man has not made himself useful to the world. When a man makes himself useful, the world will compensate him. The world is looking for somebody who can provide a useful service. See, the problem is this right here.
That's good.
What we do is we have to start to give more service than we're paid for at first. Law of universal law. Absolutely. We have to give more service than we're paid for, because if we're only giving what we're paid for, we're being paid accordingly. Think about what I just said. If we're only giving the service that we're paid for, that means that wage, the person who's paying your boss has the right to pay you what he's paying you. You don't deserve anything else. So if you're unsatisfied with what you're getting paid, then guess what? You're only doing what that pay requires. Nothing more. So you'll never be able to get more. But when you start going the extra mile, doing more than what is expected of you and not expecting any return at that moment, that's when the laws will start kicking in. That's when things will start to happen in your life. And you have the heart of a volunteer. I told Keith earlier this morning, I realized that everything that I got, I inherited. I inherited from me being a volunteer. I'm a public speaker. I earned the title as a public speaker because I volunteered for many, many years, about 15, almost 20 years, speaking for free in my church, in the prisons, at schools, and I developed my skill. And all I did was made sure that I was better than the last speech. Whether my class was huge, whether it was small, I never really had small classes, but when I did have a small class, I treated that small class just like it was the biggest class I was in. I never cheated myself because I understand effort, struggle, and use of your faculties produces growth. I'll say it again. Effort, struggle, and using the things that you have, using your tools, produces growth. So I never had a problem using my tools, even if it was using it in a situation where people weren't appreciative of it. It didn't matter to me. It mattered none to me because I was doing something. And guess what? It's no different than the law of love. It doesn't matter whether somebody returns love back to you. Once you love, you receive the benefit of love. Why? Because you had that feeling of emotion. So when I did what I did, when I gave out of the kindness of my heart, when I volunteered my time as a young man, I could have been in the streets doing whatever I wanted to do. Yes, do you want? What is that? Yes, do what you want. Oh, okay, yes.
You're on the roll. He's like,
okay.
what?
Yeah. So what? No matter, I was a young kid volunteering my service in the prison ministry. Tuesday mornings,
Wow.
Wednesday nights, and Sunday mornings, I decided to lock myself up for 3.5 hours. To become an inmate for 3.5 hours for those days for about 15 years.
Wow.
And what I got out of it now, and as Keith saw the other day, I was in a restaurant. A gentleman saw me. He's like, I remember you. He's like, remember me? It's like, where do you remember me from? He said, from Cheshire. That's where our jail is. He's like, yo, you used to talk that real. Yo, respect. So I get that all the time. But that was service that I put in that I didn't get paid for. But guess what? Just to have that conversation at that particular time gave me a feeling of emotion that it was all worth it. Not only that, the opportunities that opened up for me after that.
Right.
The different public speaking engagements and all different things I travel and speaking and all the things I did from giving out that service, not getting paid for it at all.
Wow.
And then there's another thing that I want to talk about. It's about, and this is something that Biggie Small says, but I want you to understand the philosophy in it. He said he always stayed on top because his first was just like his last, and his last was just like his first.
Consistent.
It's an idea that you have to have when you're doing something. You never cheat yourself on what you do because you will get repaid for it. Because that law will come back. It is relentlessly chasing you down to give you what you deserve. Listen, we don't get what we want in this world. We get what we have justly earned. And the only way we can earn it is by hard work, dedication, and going the extra mile.
That is crazy.
When I started my day, and I was a barber, by the way, I started my day, I would make sure my first haircut would be my best haircut. At the end of the day, after I'm tired, haven't eaten anything all day, I would make sure my last haircut was just as good, if not better than my first haircut, and end my day like that. Not to say that I would slack off in the middle of the day, but I would make sure my first haircut would be like my last haircut, and my last haircut would be like my first haircut, and I would make sure that I didn't cheat myself on the talent that I was developing in myself. I made sure of that because I was in competition with one person. That's me.
Right. Yourself.
I'm competing with my last act. I'm competing with the last thing that I accomplished. I'm competing with the last speech that I spoke. I'm competing with the last service that I had. I'm competing with the last jump shot that I shot. I'm competing with a person like that, you can't lose. Because you're self-motivated. You're driven by a force that is unknown to most people. I can get up and go to the gym by myself and get the results of having a personal trainer. Why? Because I'm in competition with myself. I have an image in my head of what things supposed to look like. As far as my lifestyle, my body type supposed to look like, my education level supposed to look like, my success is supposed to look, my bank account is supposed to look like, my house is supposed to look like, my car is supposed to look like, my relationships are supposed to look like. I have an image of what those things are supposed to look like. And I hold those images in my head consistently. And I do whatever it takes. I go the extra mile until I achieve those things. And when you go the extra mile, you'll get compensated. And maybe not in that particular thing, but you'll get compensated in other things.
Absolutely.
You can't give $1 million worth of service and expect to go to the bank and cash $1 million check the next day. Often, you'll get that $1 million back in other avenues, other opportunities. Because money is not the only thing that compensates us. Because that's not how the world works. Sometimes we get opportunities, sometimes we get accolades, sometimes we get titles, we get promotions, sometimes we get bonuses, sometimes we get all kinds of different things. But the most important thing is that you stay true to what it is that you do and you continue to go the extra mile. It is your sole responsibility in life to be successful. It is your responsibility. It does not matter who does what or how. You can talk about your boss and how he doesn't do this. You can talk about your upbringings and how it didn't afford you this. You can talk about a lot of things and make a lot of excuses, but it is your responsibility. It doesn't matter the attitude of the person. It doesn't matter whether that person is hiring. It doesn't matter whether or not you have a felony. It doesn't matter. It's your responsibility. You can't let anybody sidetrack you. You have to be relentless in your own success. It is your responsibility. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to your family. You owe it to your creator to be successful.
Absolutely.
What is the point of giving you a bag full of tools and you never open the bag? What is the point of blessing you with all these gifts and all this abundance that you have right at your fingertips and you never tap into it? The only way that you're going to tap into it, the only way you're going to move from where you are is to outgrow your present state. To outgrow your present state, the beginning of that is to go the extra mile, is to expand. Because see, listen to this. You won't be rewarded until you completely fulfill the area that you're in. You can't graduate until you complete the 12th grade. And when you complete all requirements of the 12th grade, then you can go on to college. You can't get promoted until you've completely filled the space that you're in. So when you're slacking at something, you don't deserve to go to the next level. How is it that you're trying to move forward? You want bigger things, but you can't fill the space that you're in. How is it that you want a better job, but you don't take the job you have seriously?
Right. That's right. That's good. Well, I'm just learning. I'm taking notes over here. I'm just getting all of this good information. It is always good to be around like-minded individuals because this kind of stuff fuels me. You know, it's one thing to talk it. It's another thing for it to be reciprocated to you. And I mean, I'm just taking notes. I mean, I even have here that we must honor the law and the law will promote you. And when you respect that law, it will actually become a blessing to you. If we disrespect it, then we cannot expect to get the harvest that we're looking for. And I mean, there were so many things. I wanted to also say that you, as you were talking, you were saying that we have to, when we're going the extra mile, we have to give it all we got. And until we give it all we have, we can't expect to be blessed with more. Okay. And then you were as you were talking, I just heard that we can't play it safe.
No, not at all.
So, you know, when you play it safe, I don't know what that says to you. I know that may stir you up another message.
I don't play anything
You
safe.
don't play it safe?
I don't
Come
play
on.
nothing safe.
So is that not the heart of an entrepreneur? Is it to play? You can't play it safe.
I've got nothing playing it safe.
So you have to take risks?
The reason why I don't play it safe is because I understand the laws behind it. I mean, look, if you understand agriculture, playing it safe is irrelevant because if I plant this seed at this season and put the proper amount of nutrition in it, it's going to grow. So it's not a risk involved.
The law.
It's calculated risk.
Yeah.
And it's calculated based on what we know that's eternal.
So speak to that because there's somebody that's going to replay this or listening now. They hear, give it all you got, do it, you know. So you're not saying do it without wisdom of understanding the law. Because I've seen that happen. People, you know, and you're looking like, man, they're not going anywhere. This is not going to work because they've not either honored someone who knew the law and modeled it for them.
Well, let me say this right here. And I said this earlier, and I'll go back to this. Everything that I have in my life that's manifested right now started from me volunteering in some kind of way.
That's key.
Very important. I inherited a $1 million business based on me volunteering my services. I had a friend that had a restaurant, and he decided that he wanted to expand it into a sports bar. And I just happened to be around, and I saw some holes in what he was doing as far as expansion. At the time, my sister had a construction company, so I had access to the workers. So I volunteered myself as a foreman to get that job done.
Wow.
And at the end of the job, I ended up getting 45% stake in a restaurant that we ended up selling for a lot of money.
There you have
Which
it.
became a seed for me to do other things.
That's
but I
crazy.
volunteered for 2 years though.
Let's see, that's what I'm.
For 2 years, I didn't get paid.
That's crazy.
For 2 years.
That's the process.
And I never looked for anything.
Right. You
At
see
all.
this passion here?
Because I knew that there was a hole to be filled. See what it is. You have to fill holes in life. Like if there's a need, there's something that needs to be done. You can sit there and go, oh, they ain't paying me,
Yeah.
or you can just do it and know that the law is relentless in getting back to you what it is that you deserve.
So I can't look for people to be my answer.
No.
You understand that's what I'm hearing. It's like, oh, I see Tammy has all this stuff, or I see this person, and it's a welfare mentality.
Yes.
And hopefully that doesn't offend anyone. But what I'm just simply saying is we don't want to give handouts. We want to give a help up, and we want to help people by giving you this information that puts you in the driver's seat, and that you can make it happen for you. You have to become the solution to someone's problem. And when you can become the solution to someone's problem, then people will pay you for your creativity.
Absolutely.
And that's what I'm hearing. You became, without pay, you sowed the seed of a solution. You solved a problem. So are you saying also, TW, that we must become problem solvers? There's some solution in us. There's some gift in us. There's some knowledge in us. There's some embedded.
We have to fill the areas that we're in. If there's a song to be sung, we gotta sing it.
Okay.
If there's a dance to be danced, we gotta dance it. If there's a move to be made, we gotta make it. If there's a word to be spoken, we gotta speak it.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
have to
that's
fill
good.
your space. No matter where you are in life, there's something that needs to be done around you. See, I'm gonna write a book on being a gentleman. This is something off the page right here. But my definition of a gentleman is a person who makes the lives of the people around them more comfortable. That's my definition of a gentleman.
Okay.
To
I
make
like
the
that.
lives of the people around you more comfortable.
Wow, that's good.
So when you came to my home,
Yeah.
the first thing I do, make sure you got this, make sure you got that, is this or that, because that's what a gentleman is.
Yeah.
A gentleman keeps an umbrella in his trunk no matter what, because there's going to be at some point he's going to have the opportunity to use that umbrella. And it doesn't matter that it's in there for a whole year, but it only matters that one time that young lady just got her hair done and it starts to rain unexpectedly and she doesn't know what to do. And that gentleman says, I've been prepared for this moment for the whole year.
That's
just
good.
at this moment right here, boom, pull out the umbrella. And for her, that was everything.
Right. That's good.
That's the mentality that you have to have. You have to be able to be there at the right time to offer up the right service at the right time. And guess what? Life will treat you in such a way that you will have an advantage. Because most people are not willing to do that. Most people don't give 50%.
Right. That's good.
Listen,
man.
I'm going to say something a little off, but I just want you to hear this. I used to get compliments, as far as relationships. And I used to say, it's not that I'm all that. It's just that most guys are none of that. So I just happen to stand out. And that goes to saying anything in business. It's not that I'm doing so much.
Wow.
It's just that most guys are doing so little that when I do the things that I do, then guess what? I stand out. So my competition is none.
Wow.
Because I'm operating in a law that most people are not operating in.
I got it.
I'm doing things that most people are not doing so that I stand out. So there's really no competition. So when you're looking at a promotion and you're at your job, do the things that everybody else not doing. Don't sit at the water cooler and talk about how bad things are.
Wow.
While you're at the water cooler, get your water, see what they're doing. And this is what I say all the time. Observe the masses and do the opposite.
Ah, that's good.
If they're talking about the last show that was on Scandal or Empire or all that stuff, then you need to be figuring out how to make your boss more money.
Right.
And guess what? If he doesn't appreciate it, you find his competition and show his competition
Right.
how much money you was making him, and I guarantee you, he'll hire you.
Right. Becoming indispensable.
See, what you do, yes, there you go. So what you do is you make your space.
Right.
You carve, you push no matter what. You're relentless in carving your space out in this world to say, I will succeed by whatever means. Then I'm not talking about doing things bad to people, because those things will come back to you. I'm talking about finding ways to make yourself useful in such a way that you can't be denied. That success is inedible. It will happen. It's no more impossible for it to happen that is as impossible as you to be in two places at one time. It has to happen.
Right. That's good.
And that's the mentality that you have to have. I mean, I don't know. I could go on and on and on because I know this is true. This is what I did.
Do you all see this? Y'all feel the passion? You need to tweet this. You need to forward this. You need to let somebody else know that T.W. Dawson is now on Periscope, and he's going to be doing this forever and a day, I guess, at least 2 or 3 times a week, and giving you some of this powerful knowledge. I'm telling you, this is the stuff we need to hear. You know, just plain truth, law without opinion is just based on your experiences that these things work. I mean, this is awesome. And one of the things that as you were saying, you know, people don't always remember what you say to them, but they always remember how you made them feel.
Yes.
And so that's what you were saying, even as being a servant and being a solution and being a gentleman, making people feel important and valuable as they are, you know, XHB, you know, as they become valuable to you, or you honor them as being valuable, then people will begin to respond, and automatically it causes them to want to give back to you in some way. It's just the law of kindness, and that's what this world is built on. It should
be given back to you.
Absolutely. I love this. This is good. Again, I'm telling you, I need you to invite some other people to T.W. Dawson, and I'm going to be looking to do more of this with you, because I think you have a unique perspective on how to simplify what others see as complex. And one of the things I hope maybe not the next one, because we got to chew on this one, we talk about how do you cultivate this type of passion for what you want, because a lot of people are hurting, man. This is a dog eat dog world, as they say. It's a mean world. So how do you stay so positive? How do you maintain this level of energy?
Listen, let me say this right here, and I know the people are starting to go in and out, but I want to make sure that the people that are listening right now, this is for you. This is for the people that are tired of just enough. This is for the people that want change in their life and are willing to work for it. This is for the people that know they got greatness on the inside of them and want that greatness to come out. There are at least 2 people that you talk to about greatness, 2 people you talk to about wealth, that I want you to make sure that they're on this next broadcast. I want you to make sure that you bring at least 2 people with you, because guess what? You're going to need a mastermind team. It's one thing to hear it yourself, but when you with somebody else and you guys can dialogue about it, chop it up together, then that is where you start to grow exponentially. You see, because that's important. Because it's one thing to go back and try to tell somebody this. You're not going to be able to tell them everything. They're not going to be able to understand it. But for them to be on it and day to day, hearing I can go on and on about how the human mind works, but you have to reinforce. It's no different than a child hearing information for the first time. You got to keep saying it over and over and over and over and over. And eventually their minds will start to accept that as real and reality in their life. And then it starts to manifest. And that's a little bit to answer your question as you was talking about. Yeah. How do you keep that? How do you keep that drive? It's because you reinforce it into your mind. And your mind has an amazing way of once you let your mind know, this is what I want to do, your mind says, you sure? Absolutely. And it says, all right, let's do it.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
And that's good, man. I'm telling you. So I want you to know this has been very good to me. This has been food to the soul and the spirit, going the extra mile. So if you're still out there, I want you to give us some hearts. Let us know that you can still hear us. And some of you, I want you to type in. There's a few still on. They'll probably come back to the replay. And let us know that you're willing to go the extra mile in your life and encourage others to do the same. So I want you to know that this has been awesome. Thank you for the purple hearts, whoever you are, purple heart person, blue heart. Thank you. Until next time, man.
Blue Heart only gave 2. What's up with that? What's up with 2 hearts, Blue Heart?
They're a little stingy.
What's up with you? A little stingy with the blue? The blue's a little stingy.
Oh, who is it? Thank you. No, thank you.
Oh, there
for
you go.
sharing
There you go. There you go.
Your knowledge.
Okay.
Most appreciated. See you next time. That's Tim 42. That's
Okay.
Tim 42. Where are you from, Tim? Looks like Connecticut.
Okay,
He's around the
London.
corner.
Okay, all right. We
Excellent.
We like 20 minutes down the road. All right. Okay. Stop being stingy. All right. Like I said, give more than what you're expected to get back. Right.
There you go. Yeah, New London. Awesome. Well, listen, guys. Oh, he's giving it to
All
us
right.
now.
There you go. There you go, Tim. There you go. All right. My bad.
Wow. Listen, until next time, we'll see you in the next broadcast. Go the extra mile. See ya.
All right.
Thanks.